Check that out. Amazing pictures. And our next guest is a Brisbane adventurer who's involved in this, taking his dreams from the tropics to the bitter cold.
Yeah, over 8 years, Chарльzа Verba has been creating his own snow sailor. It's first of its kind in the world, and he's just been competing in Russia. Now, he's got his sights set on the South Pole. Chарльz joins us now. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
You're in Queensland. What on earth do you know about snow?
That's a great question, and I know a hell of a lot more than I did when I started on this journey 7, 8 years ago.
So how did it all start out? How did you come up with the snow sailor, which I think you've got another name for it, don't you?
Yeah, we're calling it the swoosh.
Because that's the sound it makes.
Yeah, the noise that it makes when it's going across the ice and the snow. Back in 2009, I decided I've really got to try and get to Antarctica. Being a bit of an adventurer and a publisher in the adventure industry, but I wanted to go there and do something that's never been done before. You know, guys have done it on bikes, they've done it on motorbikes, they've done it in cars, they've walked it, they've skied it, they've kited it. So I started playing with this toy, this snow sailor, come up with an idea of building something that I can sit in and go across the polar cap with.
It sounds like a very Queensland-style invention to take there. Tell us, how does it work and how fast does it go?
How does it work? The reality is you're powered by the wind.
Okay.
And you have 3 snowboards. The front snowboard, you steer with your feet. And using the wind and the direction of the wind to take you in the direction you want to go. And probably the most important is what happens under the snowboards themselves. That's what keeps you tracking in a direction. When I was in Antarctica last year, I have a GPS recording of me doing 35 miles an hour over a distance of about 8 or 9 kilometres, which is almost just the perfect way of riding.
Now, you've just got back from the snow sailing championships in Russia. I understand it was 35 degrees the day you left and minus 35 over there.
Yeah.
Paint a picture for us of just how sort of barren and freezing it is.
Well, it's amazing. I get to the airport in Brisbane and I'm wearing a pair of board shorts and a T-shirt. And 34 hours later, I get to the city of Tolyatti and I'm wearing thermals, a base layer, a mid-layer and a jacket. Oh, and the obligatory beanie as well.
Yeah, you need the beanie and the gloves, I reckon.
Yeah.
So how did you go?
Yeah, I got there and the conditions were horrible to start with. They had a warm spell. The temperature got to -1, so spring had sprung.
What?
Heat wave.
Yeah, it was a heat wave, and yeah, it was ridiculous. So the ground was really sludgy. The snow was wet. There wasn't much wind around, and we waxed up the bottom of the boards. We got a little bit of traction, didn't work, but eventually, as we progressed through the week, the cold came back. So the ground, if you're looking at the vision now, those boards normally are moving at 3 times that speed. Yeah. But when it's so gluggy, nothing's moving. So when it got really cold by the Friday and Saturday, and up came the wind, and we went out there, competed in the marathon, which was unbelievable. The first guy ever, you know, like they say, you build these things in Brisbane, what do you know about the snow? Well, we don't, but we do try things. But we got out there and we had a great time and we had a phenomenal response from what was out there.
Was there anything that happened that you weren't expecting?
Yeah, how great the people of Russia are, to tell you the truth.
Oh, great.
I mean, that would probably be one of the greatest things, that just to experience another culture.
Yeah.
And how wonderful. We're all human beings, and I think a lot of the information we get fed is not right, but it's a great country, they're great people, really helpful, and they allow you to get out there and enjoy their own backyard, much like we do here.
Now, I understand you've got a bit of unfinished business that you need to tick off. What's next?
Oh, yeah. Next will be that they do a 3-day marathon on Lake Wonego in Russia. We've been invited to attend that. We're going to go back there in February next year to do that event, and that will precede back to Antarctica 2018, 2019. myself and Dr. Adrian McCullum are going to attempt to ride from the South Pole back to Novo Base using our snow sailors and now knowing what it is we can and can't do. It's a big difference. You go there, you know nothing, you come back, you know just a little bit more.
Yeah. So you'll be hanging on to those thermals for a while yet then.
More than hanging on to them.
Well, it's great to talk to you this morning, Charles. What an adventure and plenty more to come. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you very, very much.
Ultimate Queenslander too. He's indoors in a studio but still leaves the sunnies on top of the head.
Good on you,
That's commitment to the cause.
We love it.
Great work, mate. Thanks for joining us.